My card got declined for 8 or 14 days of gas, and I cried in a gas station bathroom because I couldn't afford to get home from a job that was paying me just enough to stay broke. If you've ever felt like you were standing at the base of a mountain in flip-flops, listen. This is the From Nothing to Something chapter. I wish someone handed me at 2 a.m. when I thought my life was over, and the life lesson that flipped everything. I'm Emily. I'm 33 now, but a few years ago, I was living in a studio apartment the size of a walk-in closet, with a window that wouldn't shut. I was behind on rent, sleeping with a hoodie on because the cold air whistled through the frame, and heating ramen over a thrift store hot plate that clicked like a metronome for anxiety. I've learned that around 6 in 10 Americans feel stuck living paycheck to paycheck. I was one of them. I wasn't lazy. I was overwhelmed, underpaid, and convinced I'd missed the secret class where everyone else learned how to be an adult. My rock bottom smelled like burnt coffee and drywall dust. I worked a call center job, the kind where you smile so much your face hurts. That winter, my landlord taped a 3-day pay or quit notice to the door. That same week, my car's check engine light flickered like a bad omen, and my manager asked me to volunteer for Saturday overtime that wasn't paid. I said yes because fear speaks louder than dignity when you're broke. That Friday night, I sat on the floor with my laptop, a stack of denial emails, and a calendar that looked like a losing game of Tetris. I put a sticky note on the wall that said, "Try harder." The next morning, I ripped it down because I realized "try harder" wasn't a plan. It was a sentence. The turning point didn't look heroic. It was a bus ride. Headphones in. A podcast said, "You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems." It hit me so hard I missed my stop. I realized I had goals. Get out of debt, move to a place with a door that closed properly, stop panicking at every email from accounts. But I had zero systems. I was trying to sprint out of quicksand. I needed leverage, not motivation. Leverage. So I picked one skill, just one. I chose copywriting because words were the only thing I had that didn't cost money. And small businesses always need clearer words that sell. No certificates, no tuition, just practice. I gave myself 90 days. For 90 minutes every morning before the call center, I wrote website headlines, emails, product pages. I studied offers and hooks during my lunch break. I sent 5 cold emails a day to local businesses with something valuable attached. Here are 3 headlines for your homepage. Use them free. Most people ignored me. Some wrote, "Stop spamming me." One sent a thumbs up emoji. I saved that emoji like it was a medal. By week 3, a barbershop owner replied, "Come by." I almost didn't go because my car made a sound like loose coins in a blender. I went anyway. I pitched him on redoing his Google listing and a simple 1-page site. He asked, "How much?" My voice shook. $50. He paid in cash and hugged me like I'd just saved his business. I sat in my car afterward and cried. Not because of the money, because it was the first time in months I felt useful. Then it got messy. A gym owner ghosted me after I spent a weekend on their sales page. A restaurant tried to pay me in nachos. I missed my morning writing time for 2 days and slid into that shame spiral where you tell yourself you're not that person, the disciplined one. I almost gave up. The bus ride voice came back. Systems, not motivation. So I changed the game. I created a non-negotiable 45-45 routine. 45 minutes of deep work before my shift, 45 minutes after. Phone in another room, timer on. It was sacred. I turned one skill into a pipeline using a simple rhythm, daily. Every day, I did the 3-2-1, 3 pieces of proof, tiny case studies posted on my LinkedIn, and a basic Notion page. 2 tailored cold emails with a 60-second Loom video showing something I'd fix. 1 in-person ask at a local shop. I renamed my bank accounts to tell my money where to go. Rent, Freedom Fund, groceries, stupid tax, for mistakes, so I'd stop beating myself up. And I built my tiny circle. 2 friends. Every day we texted proof pic of our 45-45. No judgment, just receipts. Month 2. I landed a $250 job. Month 3, I raised to $500. I used every penny to get current on rent, fix the car, and build a $1,000 emergency fund. No splurges. My splurge was sleeping without a knot in my stomach. I learned to say, I charge for that. I learned to ask, what is the business goal? And then write to that. When I got laid off from the call center during a restructuring, I didn't crumble. I sat on my floor, breathed, and mapped 30 days of cash runway. Then I turned up the 3-2-1. Here's the plot twist. The more I served, the faster it grew. I niched into trades, roofers, plumbers, landscapers, because they cared about phones ringing, not pretty words. I built simple landing pages, wrote direct response ads, tracked calls. I wasn't just a writer, I was a revenue partner. One roofer called and said, "We had our best month in 5 years." I stared at my cracked ceiling and whispered, "We're not going back." 6 months in, I hit my first 10K month. Not life-changing money on Instagram, but for a girl who chose between toothpaste and bus fare, it felt like Mars. I paid off my high-interest card. I moved to a one-bedroom where the window shuts. I bought a reliable used Camry with heat that actually works. I hired a part-time designer and a college kid to handle support tickets. 12 months in, I crossed 120K, and, more importantly, I felt calm. Not cocky, calm. The stress didn't vanish, it became fuel I could steer. The motivational story wasn't luck, it was a system. If you're still with me, here are the moves that mattered, baked into the story so you can steal them today. Pick one skill with leverage and commit to 90 days of daily reps. One skill, one market. Depth beats dabbling. Run the 3-2-1 prospecting rhythm every day. 3 pieces of proof, 2 tailored outreaches, 1 in-person ask. It compounds. Protect a 45-45 focus block. Phone away, timer on. Track streaks, systems over moods. Automate your money. Rename accounts, pay yourself first, and create a stupid tax so mistakes don't derail you. Build a tiny accountability circle. 2 people. Daily proof, not pep talks. The universal tie-in: you don't need permission to start. You need a repeatable loop that keeps you moving when your feelings lie. Discipline is just compassion in a schedule. And if you want to go deeper on habits, Atomic Habits is the handbook. I dropped a link below because it backed up what my life taught me the hard way. I'm not special, I'm not smarter, I'm not even particularly brave. I got tired of being tired and built a life that doesn't depend on someone else's spreadsheet to decide if I can buy groceries. Your from nothing to something won't look like mine. Maybe it's UX design. Maybe it's bookkeeping for Etsy sellers. Maybe it's mobile detailing on weekends. The vehicle is your choice. The engine is the same: skill, system, service, and time. If you needed a sign, this is it. Start small enough to win today and consistent enough to win forever. Drop "I'm in" the comments with your one skill for the next 90 days, and I'll cheer you on. Like this video if it lit a fire, subscribe for more life lesson breakdowns and real talk, and share it with the one friend who's one system away from their breakthrough. We're not chasing hustle for hustle's sake. We're designing a life that fits. That's the motivational story I'll binge every time.